Hello, my beautiful and lovely ChetChatters. You are learning English and you are getting better every single day. But when you go to college or to school, something happens and you forget, you don't get the right sentences, you don't know what to say, and you end up speaking in your native language. Does that happen to you? Well, okay. So, on your popular request, I'm going to give you today 90 English short sentences for students, for college students and school students that you can use in your daily English conversations. Now, I have divided these 90 into 18 different situations. 18 fives are 90. And they fall under 5 different categories. Category 1 is classroom interactions, asking and answering questions to the teacher, maybe taking clarifications and group discussions, etc. The second is all about homework and assignment, submitting assignments, receiving the grades, taking clarifications, etc. Third is about our study groups, setting up those study sessions and sharing resources and basically preparing for your exams together. The fourth category is time management, where we're going to talk about planning your schedule, meeting your deadlines, and balancing your work and life. And category number 5 is on careers and internships, seeking out those internships, getting counseling, and basically getting all kinds of help about your career and your internships. So on that note, let's quickly get going with our 90 short sentences for students. Category 1, classroom interactions. Situation 1, asking questions in class. Sir, could you explain that concept again, please? Miss, how do you solve this problem? Ma'am, could you give an example of this concept? Now, it could be miss, it could be ma'am, it could be sir, but you want to be a little polite, you want to use the could and the please in your sentences so your teacher starts liking you. Could you repeat that instruction, please? Is this going to be on the test? Of course, we are worried about the test. Is this going to be on the test? Means, is it going to come on the test? Now, within classroom interactions, situation number 2 is answering questions in class. Now, aside from asking questions, I think answering questions could be the most difficult thing to handle, right? So here are 5 easy sentences and you're going to just be able to answer every question after this. Sir, the answer is, and then give the answer. And like I said, it could be sir, ma'am or miss, but all you have to do is the answer is and give the answer. And if you're not sure, miss, I think the answer is, give the answer and then say, but I'm not very sure. But if you totally don't know the answer, then you say, no, I didn't quite get that. Could you please explain it again? Or, in my opinion, the answer is. And if you're confident of the answer, say, ma'am, I believe the answer is because, and then give the reason as well. We learned how to ask questions, we learned how to answer questions, but sometimes we want clarifications from the teacher. And here are 5 sentences, easy ones to take clarification from the teacher. Miss, could you please clarify that point? So it could be sir, miss, ma'am. Could you and please clarify the point? Sir, I didn't quite understand. Could you explain it again? I didn't quite understand means I understand a little bit, but not everything. Miss, what is the difference between this and this? Simple. Miss, sir, ma'am, what is the difference between? I'm not sure I understand. Could you simplify it? Now, this is a case where maybe the teacher said the same thing twice and you haven't understood, so saying it again and again won't help. It's about simplification. Could you simplify it? Ma'am, could you show us how to do this step by step? Now, that's a good one. Step by step. Situation number 4, participating in group discussions. Now, this is not only useful in school and college, but also sometimes for those entrance exams. You may have a group discussion. So here are 5 short sentences that can be super handy for you. I think we should start by discussing whatever the topic is. Now, when you say, I think we should start by discussing, that's a leadership stance and it establishes you as someone who's going to be leading that entire discussion. I see your point, but I think. Now you want to contradict somebody's point, but you don't want to say, I don't agree with you. You say, I see your point, but I think so and so. Does anyone have a different perspective? Now you're being democratic. You're bringing the whole group together. Let's summarize what we've discussed so far. Often I have been at the judging side of group discussions, and I find that the student that initiates summarization and is able to very cleverly summarize all the points is usually very sharp. So let's summarize what we've discussed could be an extremely useful statement for you. How does this idea connect with the main topic? Now, if you find somebody's digressing and they're suddenly talking about something else, they're going away from the main topic, you can very politely say, how does this idea connect with the main topic? Which means, come to the point, buddy. Okay, we are still at classroom interactions, and situation number 5 is about giving presentations. Now, I've seen a lot of senior people also give presentations, and they make some fundamental mistakes. So these 5 sentences are not only English sentences, but they're also going to help you make very effective presentations. Sentence number 1. Good morning, good afternoon, hello, good evening. Today I will be presenting on. Now, I've seen the best of speakers forget to tell you what they're presenting on, and they just say, okay, the slide is working, this is working. Hello, my slide number 1 is this. No, today I will be presenting on. I'd like to start by introducing. I'd like to start by introducing myself, or I'd like to start by introducing my team members. Very important to establish credibility as soon as you start, as you can see from the slide. Now, the points are up and you want to say something about it, you say, as you can see from the slide. In conclusion, we can see that. Once again, summarizing, conclusion, bringing out the essence, very important. In conclusion, we can see that. Thank you for listening. Do you have any questions? And before we move on to category number 2, it's shout out time. And this week's shout out goes to AKK15 for leaving this heartfelt message under our last video. Truly it is messages like these that make me want to go on from video to video to video. It's been 8 years since I've been running ChetChat, and literally every Friday I come to you with a new video, and that's only possible because of the love that you all give me. So if you want to shout out in my next video, leave me a comment below, and don't forget the hashtag ChetChatters, and I really want to hear from you. Now let's move on to category 2. Category 2 is for homework and assignments, and the first situation within that is about discussing your assignments with your classmates. Have you started working on the assignment yet? How are you planning to approach this part of the assignment? Planning to approach, not what are you going to write in that assignment. How are you planning to approach this part of the assignment? Let's meet up and work on the assignment together. It shows that you're willing to participate. They might be happy with your initiative as well. Let's meet up and work on the assignment together. I'm struggling with this section. How did you solve it? Or how did you crack it? I'm struggling with this section. What sources are you using for your research? Many times in an assignment, it's not so much about what you're writing, but you may not have accessed that particular resource. So what resources are you using for this assignment? It's a very valuable question to ask. Situation 7, asking for help with your homework or your assignment. I'm confused with this part of the homework. Could you help me out? Do you know how to solve this question? Could we go over the homework together? What did you get for this answer? Can you just check my work to see if it's correct? Situation 8, submitting assignments and receiving feedback. This is the tricky part. I've completed my assignment and I'd like to submit it. Could you please review my assignment and give me feedback? Is there anything I need to improve in this assignment? Thank you for your comments. I'll work on that area. Don't take any feedback as negative feedback. Everything is a scope for improvement. Thank you for your comments. I will work on this area. I will improve on this specific feedback that you've given me. what grade did I receive for the assignment? That's something I've always been very curious about as a student. Miss, what grade did I receive for the assignment? Situation 9, discussing grades and improvement. Many times we actually want to improve and we want people to, help us with that feedback. But because we don't have the right English sentences, we just don't ask them those questions and we miss out on valuable feedback and improvement opportunities. So here are 5 sentences for you for discussing your feedback and your grades and areas of improvement. What can I do to improve my grades? Simple question, just ask the teacher, Miss, Ma'am, Sir, what can I do to improve my grades? That'll help you for your life. Could you explain why I received this grade? If you're not happy with your grade and you think you deserve more, could you explain why I received this grade? I would like to know how I could perform better in future assignments. I've been struggling with this subject. What should I focus on? Thank you for your feedback. I'll work on improving in those areas. I recently made a video on 100 short sentences for daily life. And you all loved it and you came back with specific feedback for me saying, please ma'am, can you make something for students, for the classroom interaction? And that's actually the reason I'm making this video. So I hope you're going to share it with all your friends and that you are indeed going to find this useful. Category 3 is on study groups and the situation we're taking up is on organizing a study schedule together with your friends. Let's schedule a study session this weekend. Let's schedule a study session. Is everyone available to meet at the library tomorrow? Is everyone available means you're asking for everyone to commit to the time that you are fixing up to meet at the library tomorrow. Let's meet at 4 p.m. at the library tomorrow to discuss our project. Now we're zeroing in at 4 p.m. Let's meet at 4 p.m. at the library tomorrow to discuss our project. How about we meet at 3 p.m. at the study hall? Can everyone make it to the study session on Friday? Once again, you're being democratic. You're asking for everyone's convenience. Can everyone make it to the study session on Friday? Situation number 11, sharing study materials. Can you share your notes from the last lecture? Does anyone have the study guide? Does anyone have any good practice questions? I have some helpful articles. I'll share them in the group chat. Now, before you keep asking everyone, do you have this, do you have that? I have some helpful resources. I'll share them in the chat. It's a great way for people to start trusting you and sharing their resources with you as well. Let's create a shared folder for all our resources. Initiate all the organization stuff and you will become a leader. Situation 12, explaining concepts to each other. Can you explain this concept again? I'm not sure I understood this part. Can someone help? How did you solve this problem? Let me break down this concept for you. Initiate help. You start breaking down concepts and explaining stuff to everyone, and they'll also do that in return. This is how you approach this type of question. Once again, you can be the one doing the explaining too. Situation 13, preparing for exams together. Let's outline the topics that we need to cover. We should focus on these chapters for the exam. You become the leader, ask people what to focus on the exam. Everyone loves to hear that. Let's go over some past exam questions. Let's take short breaks and remain focused and fresh. When you see everyone looking tired, say, let's take short breaks, remain hydrated, remain focused and fresh. We've got this, team. Let's ace the exam. A little motivation always helps. The next big category is time management, and the situation is planning a daily schedule. By the way, you can say schedule or schedule. I think one is American, one is British, but whatever you're comfortable with. But planning a daily schedule is what we are going to learn about today. I need to plan my day to stay organized. Let's set aside 2 hours to study this evening. 3 hours, 4 hours, evening, afternoon. Let's set aside number of hours to study, evening, morning, timing. I'll spend 1 hour on math and then move on to science. I'll spend 2 hours on science and then move on to math. Let's create a study schedule to stay on track. Can we schedule a study session this afternoon? Situation 15 is the one you're going to love. Balancing study and free time. I need to make time for both studying and relaxing. I need to make time. It's important to take breaks to avoid burnout. Let's plan some downtime after we finish our homework. Downtime is a good way to say, we're not going to study, we're just going to chill. Let's plan some downtime. After we finish the chapter, let's go for a walk. A walk, a run, a bike ride. But let's go somewhere after we finish the chapter. Let's plan a game night to unwind after the exams. Let's plan a game night to unwind. Unwind, downtime, all these words are saying basically, let's just get the stress out of our system. Situation 16, setting and meeting deadlines. I have to finish this assignment by Friday, or I need to finish this assignment by Friday. Let's set a deadline to complete the project by next week. I'm on track to meet all my deadlines. Can we check in on our progress next Monday? Check in on our progress means calibrate, basically put milestones and say, how are we doing? Are we progressing and how is it going? I might need an extension on this assignment. I'm not going to be able to submit it on the deadline. I might need an extension. Category number 5, career and internships. Setting academic and personal goals. I want to improve my GPA this semester. I want to improve my percentage. I want to improve my scores this semester, this term, or this year. My goal is to complete all the assignments on time. Setting goals is always helpful, and talking about your goals to other people just makes sure that you are now going to try to follow it because you've announced and you've publicly committed. I'm aiming to develop better study habits. I plan to study for at least 2 hours every day. I plan to study, or I plan on studying for at least 2 hours every day. I hope you're studying for about 2 hours every day. I'll keep a journal to keep track of my progress. One way to reach your goals is to keep that journal and keep the track. So I'll keep a journal on how I'm reaching my goals and progressing. Situation 18, exploring career options and internships. I'm researching different career paths in my field. What are the job prospects like for my major? You could ask that of a counselor, you could ask that of a senior. What are the job prospects like for my subject, for my major? Do you know of any good internship opportunities? It's always good to ask. Do you know of any good internship opportunities? How do I apply for internship in this company? How do I apply for an internship to this company? Means I'm interested to apply and I want to find out how to do it. I'd like to attend career fairs to explore my options. Career fairs, if they happen on your campus, are a great way to explore options. Okay, all right. So there we have it. 90 beautiful, short, handy, useful, lovely sentences that you're going to enjoy using in college or in school, or even, during your placements and career discussions or counseling discussions or group discussions. Well, overall, if you've liked this video, make sure you like and subscribe, and see you soon. Bye. Happy learning.